The first step in learning something is recognizing that you don't know it. Experienced programmers remember how long it took to overcome this personal assumption. Too many beginners graduate with arrogance, a robust certainty that they know everything, and the intense need to prove it to every new workmate. In other words, the attitude, "I know what I'm doing," attitude can get in the way of learning anything new. To become great, not just good, you have to learn from experience. But be careful, experience can teach us to repeat poor behavior and to create bad habits. We've all encountered programmers with 8 years of experience or more. The same year of experience, same knowledge repeated 8 times. To avoid that syndrome, look at everything you do and ask yourself, how can I make this better? Yes, your first step is always to write quality software that fulfills the spec. Average programmers quit at that point and move on to the next thing. But to stop once it's done is like taking a snapshot and expecting it to be a work of art. Great programmers know that the first iteration is just the first iteration. It works, congratulations. But you aren't done. Now, make it better. Part of that process is defining what better means. Is it valuable to make it faster? Easier to document? More reusable? More reliable? The answer varies with each application, but the process doesn't. Good programmers write software that works. Great ones write software that works exceedingly well. That rarely happens on the first try. The best software usually is written 3 times. First, you write the software to prove to yourself, or a client, that the solution is possible. The second time, you make it work. The third time, you make it work right. This level of work may not be obvious when you look at the work of the best developers. Everything they do seems so brilliant. But what you don't see is that even rockstar developers probably threw out the first and second versions before showing their software to anyone else. Throwing away code and starting over can be a powerful way to include and make it better into your personal workflow. If nothing else, writing it 3 times teaches you how many you can approach a problem. When you read others' code, you see how someone else solved a programming problem. But don't treat it as literature, think of it as a lesson and a challenge. To get better, ask yourself, how would I have written that block of code? What would you do differently, now that you've seen another solution? What did I learn? How can I apply that technique to code I wrote in the past? How would I improve this code? And if it's an open source project where you are confident you have a better solution, do it. Write out your answers to these questions. Writing down and sharing your analysis can help you understand why you react to another person's code in a given way. Practicing this helps you get into the head of the person who wrote the software, which can improve your empathy. Working on personal programming projects has many advantages. For one, it gives you a way to learn tools and technologies that aren't available at your current job, but which make you more marketable for the next one. Whether you contribute to an open source project or take on pro bono work for a local community organization, you'll gain tech skills and self-confidence. Another advantage of writing code for fun is that it forces you to figure things out on your own. You can't leave the hard stuff to someone else, so it keeps you from asking for help too soon. An important tip is don't choose only personal projects where you never fail. You need to fail. But you probably don't want to fail at work or when you have a deadline. It helps to listen to other people. That might mean pair programming, or going to a hackathon, or joining a programming user group. When you contribute to an open source project, Pay attention to the feedback you get from users and from other developers. You might be lucky enough to find a personal mentor whom you can trust to guide you in everything from coding techniques to career decisions. Programming languages, tools, and methodologies come and go. That's why it pays to get as much experience as you can with as many languages and frameworks as possible. Focus on the programming fundamentals, because the basics never change. Pay more attention to architecture than to programming. If you feel certain that there's only one right way to do something, it's probably time for a reality check. Dogma can hamper your ability to learn new things, and make you slow to adapt to change. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel.